resistance is futile.
Boldly going where no show has gone before. This is The Week in Geek with David D. Squared, your source for geek and pop culture news that's trending now. Broadcasting from the Gregory Ricks & Associates Wealth Management Studios, here's D. Squared.
Greetings, people of Earth. This is The Week in Geek, your source for geek and pop culture news that's trending now. I'm your host, D Squared. All right, let me lay out the show for you, man. We are jam-packed tonight. We'll kick it all off with top nerd news, mostly a lot of it coming out of New York from New York Comic-Con. Our first guest of the evening will be Rich Little. His virtually speaking tour kicks off October 15th. And after Rich Little, we have the one, the only Henry Winkler joins us. He's promoting his newest books, Light, Camera, Danger. It's a Buddy Burger story. He's doing children's books now, but look, it's really cool. And so is Henry Winkler, man. I really enjoyed talking with him earlier this week. And then we'll wrap it all up with Skungy's pick of the week, Crash Bandicoot 4. So let's get right into it, baby. And now, your top nerd news stories from around the world, brought to you by the Viridian Tea Company. Find them on Etsy. And now, your top nerd news stories. All right, so like I said, New York Comic-Con has been going on. It wrapped up earlier today, I guess. And a lot of news coming out of there. There's a few trailers here or there. I'm only going to trouble you with one, and this one, it will be worth it. But I'm going to tease you with it. I'll do it the last story for New York Comic Con. But one of the first things to come out was The Watch. The Watch is the new BBC 8-part series coming out in January, based in Terry Pratchett's Discworld. You know, the City Watch, the Discworld series, just a non sequitur, just hysterically funny and awesome world that he had contrived years upon years ago. The interesting part about the panel that they were talking about is because Terry Pratchett's books were kind of like all over the place. I think one of my favorites was when Death decided to take a holiday and become a rock and roll celebrity. And then you've got like Small Gods, where like this major deity gets thrown out of whatever heaven thing they've got. But they're interconnected in one world. But The Watch would always show up with Captain Vimes, who's going to be played by Beric Dondarrion from Game of Thrones. His real name is Richard Dormer. But it's taking the City Watch was one of the books too, where you've got Carrot, a bunch of the weird characters that fill this world. Well, it's going to be an 8-part miniseries, and they're just going to make like an amalgamation of a lot of Terry Pratchett's books from the Discworld series. Some people, it might not be their cup of tea because it's silly. It's silly, but I love it. You know, it's like Monty Python on steroids, and it's not just little bits. It's just an interconnected world, and I'm excited for this because it's something new. It's something new that we haven't seen before. So the Watch, as it says, focuses on an unlikely group of misfits, the City Watch, where they are pitted against trolls, werewolves, and wizards, and other improbable heroes against evil, and a plot to resurrect a great dragon, which led to the destruction of life as they know it. So yeah, you know, you got a big bad, and the bumbling heroes will come in to save the day. Now, for the local connection, though, Captain Sam Vimes, played by Richard Dormer, will also meet Death. Now, like I brought up Death becoming a rock and roll star. In a celebrity move, local boy Wendell Pierce, he's done so many HBO specials. He's played Supreme Court justices, everything. But Wendell Pierce will be the voice of Death. So that looks cool as hell. All right, moving on in New York City Comic-Con news. They dropped a trailer for MODOK. Okay, so let me just say this. It's something new, so yay. Patton Oswalt, whether you care about whatever his personal feelings are on the world, he is a pretty funny actor, and he does well with off-the-wall sort of weird characters. Well, MODOK, when you look at the trailer, it looks like Robot Chicken. It's some weird, like I don't know, claymation sort of thing going on over there. But what it focuses on, MODOK, it's that little floating weird egg dude who's got like mental powers and, can kill you and he's super duper smart. Well, I guess the word would be irreverent, an irreverent take on it, because you will now see MODOK's personal life, his struggles with his wife and his 2 children. I don't even want to get into that, but apparently MODOK has a wife and children, and because he's always running AIM and trying to take over the world, apparently it makes his home life suffer. Look, it'll be on Hulu. Apparently Hulu's got a bunch of new things coming out right now, so cool. I'm down with that. All right, moving on. Ernest Cline has revealed that Ready Player 2 is going to be comes out November 24th, and they released the plot, or at least, a thumbnail sketch of said plot. And you would think that maybe it would pick up on another person, or maybe Wade Watts' girlfriend that, we don't know a whole lot about. She was fighting the good fight while he was out, I don't know, playing whatever he was playing. But it's going to stick with Wade Watt. Days after winning the Oasis founder James Halliday's contest, Wade Watts makes a discovery that changes everything. Hidden within Halliday's vaults waits for his heir to find another technological advancement that will once again change the world and make the Oasis 1,000 times more wondrous and addictive than even Wade dreamed possible. That's the same damn plot. You've got now more riddles, a new quest, more Easter eggs. It's the same plot. Did you just basically just photocopy your book and just slap Ready Player 2 on it? Is that what you did, Ernest? Because so far, I'm not overly impressed at what you got going on here. Apparently, there's another new big bad who is going to try to steal the Oasis for himself. All right. Let's take this apart, shall we? Let me unpack this. Ready Player One, the movie, was okay. It was good. The book was a hell of a lot better. So I don't know if I should be blaming Ernest Cline for Ready Player 2 or Hollywood. I guess, I'm gonna lean on the I hate Hollywood side here a bit. Because what more can you do? You quite literally pulled every single possible nostalgic string in America's hearts by dropping every possible emblem, storyline, cars, people, creatures, video games, and smashed them all into the movie. What else you got? What else can you try to monopolize on? I'm very confused as to what Ready Player 2 is going to be when you've pretty much just you vomited the 1980s on the screen and said, here it is. And while, it was cool, the book was better, where can you go? And it really doesn't look like you put a whole lot of effort into it, because now you've got more Easter eggs. Someone's trying to steal your brand new Oasis that you won a contest. God help us. What did we do to deserve some of these things? I don't know. 2020 is just the year that keeps sucking harder than you think it could, and it just keeps on giving. So there you go. Ernest Cline, Ready Player 2, coming out November 24th. I will not wait with bated breath. Moving on. The Stand TV series. That is going to be coming out on CBS All Access December 17th. The Stand. The Stephen King thing. We've seen this a few times. We've read it a few times. But wait, they did something different. They made, and this came from the panel from New York City Comic Con, the panelists, Whoopi Goldberg and a lot of the other people who are in this movie were there, and they all agreed that the TV series makes necessary updates to the 40-year-old book. Really? They update things that are 40 years old that you come across in the book with, well, that's a little dated because it was made in 1978. 1978! It's a 40-year-old book. Okay, stop it. Just stop it, okay? I saw the trailer. It does look wonderful. It's wondermous, okay? But we've seen it before. Now, here's some of the things that just kind of just makes me wonder, because they claim that it's not about the whole COVID pandemic. They didn't make this show in response to COVID because it was apparently written and prepped in 2018. Like, we didn't know you didn't have any ideas in 2018. We're pretty sure y'all are pretty dumb over there in Hollywood and just, like, hey, well, here's a book. It's 40 years old. We've made countless series on sci-fi and everything else about it. So here's the thing. Whoopi Goldberg, who, I love Whoopi Goldberg. All right, so, but here's the thing, and this is something that they wanted to address, the magical African-American friends. That's that Hollywood trope, like the Legend of Bagger Vance. There's always somebody, the Green Mile. They're always in some sort of subservient position. They come in and they're magical and they help the white protagonist, et cetera, et cetera. Well, this has been a trope that's been, even Wesley Snipes is kind of the one who brought it up, and he's like, hey, I don't want to be involved with this. Let's do something more. And you've seen something more with Us and some of the other things that your boy Key and Peele have done. So Whoopi Goldberg said, we're not in the 70s. She couldn't be the magic. That was fine 40 years ago, but she had to be a real person. I needed her not to be the little old black lady who has all the magic information. Well, right. But that was the book that was written 40 years ago. Here's a thought. Write something new. It's a book. It's part of your history now. You go look at it, it's like, wow, that was, look, Stephen King ain't a bad guy. He was just following some of the tropes, A lot of times that's what people were doing. I'm not pardoning or forgiving or any of that. I'm not giving any excuses here. But do something else. You want to make more of these characters? You want to do something else? Well, don't call it The Stand. Do something different. I swear to sweet, merciful Jesus on the cross. I understand you want to make it a little bit more modern so the modern viewers can kind of understand it. Why? You don't need to do it. You don't need to do it. Dear God. All right, see, now I'm getting all fired up. And you know what? I'm going to end on a happy note before we take our first break, because one of, and probably the coolest thing to come out of New York City Comic Con is the return of this.
Helen, this species of cartoon has been extinct since 1998. I mean, these haven't been seen on TV since the golden era of animation. And what?
It's the Warner Brothers.
And the Warner sister!
He did it. That crazy son of a gun actually did it. Clean vectored outlines. Widescreen format.
These don't look like reruns.
They're not. I reanimated them.
We are gonna make a fortune with this show. How zany are they?
To the max. Of course. Then there's Pinky and the Brain.
Pinky and the Brain? You said you're bringing back Pinky and the Brain?
Mm-mm.
Say it again.
We're bringing back
Mufasa.
Pinky and the Brain.
Mufasa. Say it again. Mufasa.
Boingy, 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 boingy.
Where are they going?
Home. Welcome to Animaniacs.
Yes! And they're coming to Hulu November 20th. So there you go. Finally. Thank you. See. All right, coming up next, Master Impressionist Rich Little. The Virtually Speaking Tour, followed up by the one, the only Henry freaking Winkler. This is The Week in Geek, your source for geek and pop culture news that's trending now. I'm D Squared. This is News Talk 99.5 WRNO.
Friends, Is your morning tea just not your cup of tea? Then try the tea blends of Viridian Tea Company. At Viridian Tea Company, they sell blends guaranteed to make you think outside the box. With such blends as Tea of the Necropolis, Quantum Mechanics, Spider Witch, and many more, your tea experience will be out of this world. Look for the blends at Tubby & Coo's Mid-City Bookshop, located at 631 North Carrollton, or on Etsy at Viridian Tea Company. Try Viridian Tea Company today. Your taste buds will thank you.
In From the Storm fanzine highlights black female characters in comics and sci-fi. The fanzine is for and by black women, featuring original artwork, interviews, and cultural criticism. As black women fans, we have unique perspectives that are often silenced and discouraged in mainstream outlets. In From the Storm is a shelter from the storm, a place for black women to gather, learn, and discuss our black female nerddom. Find them at infromthestormzine.com or at In From the Storm on Facebook.
Jezebel Johnston, Devil's Handmaid by Nancy Hansen, is now an audiobook read for you by Brian Held. It's a tale of a young girl from Tortuga who disguises herself as a boy and bluffs her way onto a pirate ship, chasing after her one true love, only to find adventure on the high seas. Jezebel Johnston, Devil's Handmaid is available on Amazon, Audible, and iTunes. Get your copy of Jezebel Johnston today.
The 2020 New Orleans Kidney Walk is going virtual. On Sunday, November 8th, be a part of the National Kidney Foundation of Louisiana's celebration from the comfort of your own home. And to help kick off the virtual event, we will be hosting a Spirit Week starting November 2nd. For more information or to register your team, go to kidneywalk.org. That's kidneywalk.org. So lace up for the virtual New Orleans Kidney Walk on Sunday, November 8th.
Welcome back to The Week in Geek, your source for geek and pop culture news that's trending now. Don't forget you can listen to previous episodes on the iHeart Radio app at The Week in Geek Radio Show. Here's D Squared.
Welcome back into The Week in Geek, your source for geek and pop culture news that's trending now. I'm your host, D Squared. Let's go to the guest line. Rich Little, mimic, master impressionist, and on virtual tour coming up October 15th at 7:30 p.m. Central Time. Rich Little. Rich, how are you doing today, sir?
This is not Rich Little. This is Johnny Carson calling from heaven. Would you accept the charges?
Sure. I'll go ahead and accept the charges. Let's get right into it, man. Look, with the pandemic, obviously things have changed. Now you're the longest running act at the Tropicana in Las Vegas, but now we're going to be doing virtual stuff. So tell me about the Virtually Speaking tour.
Yeah, I'm going to be doing it from my home on October the 15th.
Yes, sir.
At 5:30 p.m. Pacific time, and you can get tickets by going to stageit.com and put my name in.
There we go.
Want to see the show.
So look, I want to talk a little bit about your great body of work. I think some people don't know that you are also an artist. Now that comes into play as well, right? Tell me how your artwork comes into your tour.
Well, every time I impersonate somebody, I show a picture of them before I do them. And it helps because, a lot of people maybe recognize the name of the person I'm doing, but when they see the picture, then it really locks in. And I've done, hundreds and hundreds of portraits. So I use them in my act. I'll be showing them, a lot of them, when I do the Virtually Speaking show.
Now, it's true that some of them also showed up in your autobiography, Little by Little, Celebrities I've Known and Been. That comes in there as well, too. So
yeah. And there's a lot of them in my book, yeah.
Now, I guess here's something, a little game I wanted to play with you. Rich Little is our guest, the Virtually Speaking Tour, Thursday, October 15th. You obviously have so many voices. You were in Better Off Dead, which is just a couple of 80s classic movies, that and One Crazy Summer. But I always think about Better Off Dead with Howard Cosell, and I really suck at this. So what if Howard Cosell was a weatherman? What would he sound like?
Howard Cosell as a weatherman. This is Howard Cosell. The weather today is going to be hot, cold, windy, rainy, sunny, and snowy. Take your pick. I don't know where you live.
Now, that is awesome. Rich Little is our guest. The Vegas Raiders, they moved from Oakland. Now they're in Las Vegas. What if Dean Martin and Sammy Davis Jr. went to a Vegas Raiders game? How you think they would like it? How would that work?
Well, yeah. We probably, I don't think we'd like it at all because, all they serve is soft drinks and hot dogs. And we want something a little stronger, I get stiff now in every joint in town.
So you do a lot of voices, and one of the other things I wanted to play a little game with you, kind of like called What If. So we're already started to play it. I haven't really told you that we're playing it now. Now, what if Arnold Schwarzenegger had been cast as Captain Kirk instead of William Shatner, and maybe had to do the space the final frontier thing? I'm putting you on the spot.
Let's see. Arnold Schwarzenegger, Captain Kirk, you be Mozart, okay? You be Mozart. And you, Dr. Spock, you be Beethoven. And me, I'll be Bach.
Look, you did a bunch of stints with Johnny Carson, but also with the Muppet Show, and Kermit the Frog is another voice that I don't even know if you have to draw the picture for people to figure out who Kermit the Frog is. But have you ever seen Star Wars?
Kermit the Frog has never seen Star Wars. Oh, I spent my childhood in the pond, So I don't know anything about anything.
Rich Little is with us now. Rich, you were born and raised in Canada, and you became a U.S. citizen back in 2010. And the judge asked you to recite the Pledge of Allegiance as John Wayne. If John Wayne were still alive now, and let's just say the coronavirus was a person and it tried to attack John Wayne, since John Wayne is a major badass, what would John Wayne tell the coronavirus if it tried to attack him?
Don't crowd me. All right, coronavirus, get your act in a circle. 'Cause I'm gonna shoot you dead, mister. You're not gonna hang around me for any more time at all. So get the hell out of here.
You are awesome. Rich Little, Master Impressionist, is our guest. The Virtually Speaking Tour is Thursday, October 15th, 7:30 p.m. Central Time. Now, tickets are only $15, and they can get involved with that. Now, one of the other things I wanted to talk about real quick, because we know we got about a minute left now. You're very supportive of our veterans, and you also tell me a little bit about the Mary and Rich Little Foundation, sir.
Well, when I'm doing my show at the Trop, and I'll be going back there, I think, in a couple of weeks, after every show, I sell all my merchandise, my tapes and my drawings, and all the things that I've done in my career, and then all the money goes to the Gary Sinise Foundation for the troops.
Nice.
And I'm very supportive of the troops, and always have been, and it's great because, I have great admiration for anybody in uniform. So that's what I do. And I've been doing that for, 10 years. So I've made a lot of money for the troops and very, very proud of it. I really am. It's one of the joyful things I do.
That is Rich Little. Rich, thank you so much. Have a wonderful time with your Virtually Speaking Tour. Have a great day, sir.
Okay.
All right, coming up next, we have the one and only Henry Winkler. You don't want to miss that, and he gives us a little Neil Diamond anecdote. This is The Week in Geek on News Talk 99.5 WRNO.
Pro Se Productions is a leading independent publisher on the cutting edge of new pulp and genre fiction today. At Pro Se Productions, you'll find fiction featuring fast-paced action and adventure, larger-than-life protagonists, over-the-top characters, and tight yet extravagant plots. Pro Se specializes in prose books, anthologies, audiobooks, and more. Go to prose-press.com to find our monthly release schedule and more info about our great titles. Pro Se Productions is your first-rate publisher of new pulp fiction today.
Operation Spark, a non-profit tech boot camp, is offering a free 2-week introduction to coding classes for adults who've lost their job due to COVID-19 or looking for a new career. The course meets virtually for 2 consecutive weeks, Monday through Thursday. The next class starts on October 12th. In order to register for the program, interested candidates must participate in a virtual information session prior to enrolling. For times and information or to register for a session, go to operationspark.org. That's operationspark.org to start your path to a new career.
In From the Storm fanzine highlights black female characters in comics and sci-fi. The fanzine is for and by black women, featuring original artwork, interviews, and cultural criticism. As black women fans, we have unique perspectives that are often silenced and discouraged in mainstream outlets. In From the Storm is a shelter from the storm, a place for black women to gather, learn, and discuss our black female nerddom. Find them at infromthestormzine.com or at In From the Storm on Facebook.
What's cooking, iHeart listeners? This is Dwayne Stein of Mortgage Gumbo. Our friends and families in West Louisiana need our help. I'm proud to announce Mortgage Gumbo, in partnership with iHeartMedia, has set up Gumbo Nation Gives. Visit mortgagegumbo.com for a list of items being collected and local drop-off sites. Join the Gumbo Nation in rallying for our neighbors. Visit mortgagegumbo.com in partnership with iHeartMedia.
Live from the Gregory Ricks & Associates Wealth Management Studios, this is News Talk 99.5 WRNO.
I bring you a dear, sweet man, Mr. Henry Winkler.
Good evening.
Covered in bees.
Welcome back into The Week in Geek, your source for geek and pop culture news that's trending now. Let's go to the guest line. Henry Winkler joins us. Henry, how are you doing today, sir?
You know what? I'm still covered in bees. It's a little uncomfortable, but I'm happy to be here.
You are a genuine Renaissance man, Emmy Award-winning actor, and now New York Times best-selling author. Your latest book has hit the newsstands now, Alien Superstar, Book 2, Lights, Camera, Danger, a Buddy Burger story. Tell me about this series, because, Henry, I got a 7-year-old and a 14-year-old, and I'm looking for a new series, so sell me, sir.
Okay, so this is perfect for both ages. All right, an alien who lives on a repressive planet, and he has an appendage on his back that is a sensory enhancer. And at 13, the government wants to deactivate his sensor. The sensor makes him smell better and taste better and see better and hear better. And his grandmother does not want him to miss out on life. She builds him a rocket ship, and they fly off to Earth, and the only address they know is Universal Studios. I mean, who is going to talk about a rocket ship on the back lot of a studio?
Nobody. They're going to assume it's CGI.
Happens, but the alien gets a job on a sitcom because he's already got the costume for an alien. They're looking for an alien, and there he is. And then all of a sudden in book 2, a shapeshifter, the worst colonel of the squadron, Citizen Cruel, has to come looking for him because no one can escape. And she comes down to Earth in her rocket ship and tries to kidnap our buddy Burger and take him back to his planet. But he's got 2 great friends, Luis, who works at Universal, and Cassidy, who works on the show with him, and they help stop the kidnapping.
Nice.
Very adventurous.
I'm liking it right now. Henry Winkler is our guest. What was the inspiration? I mean, obviously, you know, it's an alien. He can't take his costume off. At least people, I guess, assume it's a costume. But it seems like there's lots of tones of, like, acceptance and maybe just, I don't know, what's the other word for it? Body shaming?
You know what? That is exactly correct. His friend Cassidy, who is the star of the show, with him, her mom is the manager. It manages her, and now manages the alien. And she's always worried about what her daughter is eating. You know, not an extra calorie can go in that girl's mouth. So body shaming, and also the alien. What happens if he tells people who he really is? Will they accept him? Will they just take him? Will they like him as much if they knew the truth? And I think children go through that a lot.
They do.
So we took what we know about working in television, about working in the industry, and we put in the good, the bad, and the ugly. Because kids always think, being a star, paparazzi, a limousine, parties. But it is not that. It is hard work.
Now, Henry, tell me, you won an Emmy Award for Barry on HBO playing Gene Cousineau. I'm digging this character. He's a bit of a player, man. Is that you in real life, Henry?
No, it isn't. I have a wonderful family, and if I were a player, my wife would break my legs. But so in order to stay healthy, I stay home. And now with COVID, I stay home even more. You know, this is an equalizer for all of us. I hope all of your listeners are healthy and well, and eventually we can all go back to some sort of normalcy in our life.
Amen to that. That is Henry Winkler, his latest book, Alien Superstar, Lights, Camera, Danger, with Buddy Berger. And look, also Hank Zipser, that's your original series too. Where can people find more information about this, Henry?
All right. Well, you know, Lynn and I have written 35 novels together. She sits at the computer, I walk around and I talk. And together we create these wonderful stories. Hank Zipser is the story of my life as a dyslexic growing up. Wow. He's not successful at anything. His glass is half full. He just spills it everywhere. And Hank is now in 9 languages. But I'll tell you the most important thing. We write funny, or what we think is funny, because we think comedy is the way to get young boys and girls to first start reading and enjoy reading. So comedy is paramount. If Lynn and I don't laugh, it doesn't go in the book.
Henry, now also, you know, Here Comes the Boom was such a great movie. I enjoyed the heck out of it. Here we go. Are you a Neil Diamond fan?
Yes.
Yes!
You know what? So many people will not admit that they are a Neil Diamond fan. And then I met a woman. I went to see him at the Greek Theater here in Los Angeles, this beautiful outdoor theater. And sitting next to me was this fan who had seen him 139 times. She's traveled all over the world to just go and watch his concert. And he called me up on stage. I can't sing. I really can't sing. I wish I could. I would come back as the boss if I could sing. I really would. And I mix in a little Sia, you know.
Ooh, nice.
And he called me on stage, and he wanted me to sing Song Sung Blue.
Oh, that's a great one.
I just started doing it as the Fonz because there was no way I was getting a note out of my throat.
That is the best anecdote ever. Henry, thank you so much. I wish you all the great success in the world, sir. And thank you so much for your time, and keep keeping on, brother.
You know what? Thank you for the invitation to come and chat with you.
Thank you, sir. All right. Have a great day, man.
You too. Stay healthy.
You too, man. Stay safe. All right. Coming up next, we'll wrap up tonight's show with our boy Skungy and his pick of the week. This is The Week in Geek on News Talk 99.5 WRNO.
Sing it out, sing it strong, go.
Friends, is your morning tea just not your cup of tea? Then try the tea blends of Viridian Tea Company. At Viridian Tea Company, they sell blends guaranteed to make you think outside the box. With such blends as Tea of the Necropolis, Quantum Mechanics, Spider Witch, and many more, your tea experience will be out of this world. Look for the blends at Tubby & Coo's Mid-City Bookshop, located at 631 North Carrollton, or on Etsy at Viridian Tea Company. Try Viridian Tea Company today. Your taste buds will thank you.
The 2020 New Orleans Kidney Walk is going virtual. On Sunday, November 8th, be a part of the National Kidney Foundation of Louisiana's celebration from the comfort of your own home. And to help kick off the virtual event, we will be hosting a Spirit Week starting November 2nd. For more information or to register your team, go to kidneywalk.org. That's kidneywalk.org. So lace up for the virtual New Orleans Kidney Walk on Sunday, November 8th.
Take a pause.
Petco's out with an announcement called Stop the Shock. The company says it's no longer selling remote-controlled shock collars that can cause pain for dogs. Instead, the company's promoting positive training, which means lots of praise and lots of treats. Terrace Cooper, the company's training expert, in an online video.
It really helps to reinforce them to feel good about their choices as you reward them for a job well done.
The company's calling on other companies to do the same. And in California's Lake Tahoe region, the black bears are getting big.
Our males get up pushing 500 plus pounds sometimes, and that's unheard of in the black bear world.
2G Silch of the Sierra Wildlife Coalition says the bears are getting ready for hibernating over the winter, and their appetites are getting bigger too.
And that could be upwards of 20 to 25,000 calories a day. That's mind-boggling.
And that's a lot of picnic baskets. Yogi, take pause. Jill Nato, Fox News. In From the Storm fanzine highlights black female characters in comics and sci-fi. The fanzine is for and by black women, featuring original artwork, interviews, and cultural criticism. As black women fans, we have unique perspectives that are often silenced and discouraged in mainstream outlets. In From the Storm is a shelter from the storm, a place for black women to gather, learn, and discuss our black female nerddom. Find them at infromthestormzine.com or at In From the Storm on Facebook.
What's cooking, iHeart listeners? This is Dwayne Stein of Mortgage Gumbo. Our friends and families in West Louisiana need our help. I'm proud to announce Mortgage Gumbo, in partnership with iHeartMedia, has set up Gumbo Nation Gives. Visit mortgagegumbo.com for a list of items being collected and local drop-off sites. Join the Gumbo Nation in rallying for our neighbors. Visit mortgagegumbo.com in partnership with iHeartMedia.
Hey, this is Booker T, WWE Hall of Famer, and you're listening to The Weekend Geek on WRNO. Now, can you dig that, sucker?
Welcome back into The Weekend Geek, your source for geek and pop culture news that's trending now. I'm your host, D Squared. Looking at all you Neil Diamond fans out there right now. Oh, that was so much fun. What can I say? Henry Winkler is just the man. Now, as always, I want to strongly urge you to check out the Facebook page, facebook.com/The Weekend Geek. Check out our website at twigradio.com. Follow us on Twitter at twigradio and the Instagram's The Weekend Geek. Hey, Skungy, you there?
Yes, sir.
How can people listen to this lovely show?
Well, if you missed any part of tonight's show, or if you want to catch your favorite part again, you can always find us on Spreaker.com or download Spreaker for your smartphone or tablet. We're also on iTunes, YouTube, Google Play, Stitcher, Spotify, and iHeartRadio app.
Stop with the singing, man. Jesus. All right. Look, before we came back to from break, we had a PSA just play for Mortgage Gumbo. My boy Dwayne Stein, I produce his Saturday show. Gumbo Nation Gives. If you go to mortgagegumbo.com,
Mortgage. That's how you spell mortgage. There's a T in there. MortgageGumbo.com. They are collecting a lot of things for all of our friends over there in Port Lake Charles, Lafayette. They just got the snot kicked out of them again. First Laura, now Delta. We are going to be gathering a bunch of stuff. And while we were on the air Saturday, a guy calls up who Freezard Trucking and offered to bring all the goods there. So they're collecting, food as well, pet food, toiletries, whatever you can spare, whatever you can give, tarps especially, because, most of us here have survived Katrina and just remember going through town and seeing nothing but blue tarps. Well, our friends over there are going through the same thing. So go to mortgagegumbo.com and find out how you can help and where the drop-off sites are where you can bring all these supplies. So there you go. All right, Skungy, let's get right into it.
Skungy's Pick of the Week.
I am not what you would call a handsome man.
I love lamp.
Skungy's Pick of the Week.
You might be an idiot savant.
Skungy, what's shaking, bacon?
Not a whole lot. Got a bit of nostalgia for us tonight.
Oh, great. Kind of like Ready Player 2. Just have they not beaten the nostalgia horse into the ground, beneath the ground, and all the way on the other side of the world yet? No? Is that a no? You're giving me more?
As long as they can sell us our childhood back to us, they're not going to stop.
But
we keep buying.
Did Crash Bandicoot make an appearance in Ready Player 1?
I cannot remember.
You know what? Okay, well,
I wouldn't be surprised.
There we go. That's one that they might be able to add into Ready Player 2. I'm just starting a list. That's all it is. Okay, so Crash Bandicoot. All right, Crash Bandicoot 4. Talk to me, bro.
Yeah, Crash Bandicoot 4. It's about time. That's the name of the name of the game. It's about time.
Okay.
It is the fourth numbered game in the series. Now they've had a couple of them that were on PlayStation 2 and PlayStation 3. They're actually pretending that none of those happened, and they're going from the ones from the PlayStation 1. 1, 2, and 3, and this one's 4.
Well, okay then. Good on them.
Well, the other ones didn't receive the best reviews. They
kind of like what Terminator did. Kind of like what Terminator did. They're ignoring 3 and 4 and Genesis and all the other stuff. They're just going 1 and then right into the next one.
Absolutely. And you know what? It works out because this game is made by Toys for Bob. Now, Toys for Bob recently did the Spyro remake as well when they remastered the Spyro trilogy. Now, that is my favorite PlayStation 1 platformer, the Spyro game. So I was really anxious to play this one. And let me tell you, this game has a really great balance because anybody who's played the original Crash Bandicoot games, which you can actually go back and play those because in the last 2 years they released the Insane trilogy, which had Crash Bandicoot 1, 2, and 3. You can get that on Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and Switch, and you can play through the original 3. Going back and playing those games, they are hard. They are, I want to break my controller in half. I am done. I'm going to yell a lot of expletives and break my system hard.
Okay.
But they did a balance. So you've got two different modes. You've got modern or you've got retro. The retro is you have lives. So, you have so many lives to get through a level. Oh. The modern one, you can die as many times as you want. It's not going to end it. But you have, and this is the most brilliant thing that just makes you understand how sad you are at video games. There's a kill count or a death count.
Okay.
So it lets you know how many times you have died.
And it exploded.
That's awesome.
So the reason why they do this is that there are certain collectibles at the end of these levels that you can get gems. Now, when you go through these Crash Bandicoots, they're platforming games, running and jumping, and jumping on enemies, spinning on enemies, and every level has these crates. And they have these fruit, this Wampa fruit. Now, if you collect so many fruit, you get a gem. If you get all the boxes in a level, you get a gem. If you find a hidden gem, you get a gem. Well, one of the gems you get is if you die only 3 times, you get a gem.
Ooh. There's got to be some sort of incentive because no one will ever again know the joy and the pain of plunking a quarter into a video game.
The incentives are you unlock skins for the character.
Okay, that's cool.
So, and a lot of times, sometimes it's if you get 3 gems in this level, you'll unlock it. But a lot of times it's you got to find all 6. So and these are difficult. Like there was one level I played for 40 minutes trying to get everything until I just gave up and said, I'm just going to the next level because I am never going to be good enough to actually get through these things and find all this stuff.
Oh, I'm sorry.
But I'm terrible at video games. But the other thing about it, you have time trials. So after you play a level, you unlock the time trial, and you can try to beat a certain time to get through the level, and you get bonuses for doing that. And you get unlockables for that. Then as you play through the game, you're going to be able to play the levels again in a mirror mode. So it literally switches the level backwards.
Okay.
And you have even more incentive of trying to get through and unlocking more stuff that way.
That's lazy, though. They just say, "Here, you liked it forward, now try it backwards." That's just lazy.
But it actually works out because it changes. A lot of these games, you're like, man. A lot of these levels, you're like, man, this is weird how it's laid out this way. But then when you go back and play it the mirror way, it opens up a whole new area that you couldn't see, that you had to bypass the last time.
Are the sound effects backwards too? Like summon Satan? That one?
No, it is not like playing the record backwards.
Okay, just asking, just making sure, covering all my bases.
No, it also has local and online co-op you can play. You can play different characters as well, not only just Crash Bandicoot. You can play his girlfriend, and then there are 3 other characters that you can play, and each of them play different. Like one of them has a grappling hook, another one has a dash attack, and the other one is a really big guy who can't jump that well, but he's got a gun that can destroy things. So it adds variety to the levels. It's not just going through the same thing as Crash over and over again.
I feel personally attacked by that. A fat guy that can't jump. Thanks, bud.
I said a big guy.
Oh, okay. All right. Sorry.
He could be muscular, dude.
Oh, right. He's swole. Big swole.
Yeah.
All right. So, all right. What else?
So I got to say, they really had a love for the original property with this one. Everything down from the soundtrack, the level design, it's very unique. You're doing this kind of time jumping thing. So you're going like different periods, like prehistoric or futuristic. There's a lot of love and care from the original series, and I think they did a fantastic job. It's difficult. So don't be surprised if you curse at the TV a couple of times. But man, I really enjoyed it. And if they did more games like this where they had this level of care for remasters or remakes or sequels, man, there would be a great spot for games.
All right. Well, price and platform.
Well, it is going to be out. It's out on the Xbox One. It is on the PS4 and the Switch. It is It's $59.99.
$59.99. At least they're going back to their regular pricing ways now, I guess.
Yeah, well, that's about to change with the new systems. They're going to be everything's $10 more.
Man, stupid inflation.
But you know what? It's surprising that they didn't go up. They went up for the Xbox 360 when that came out, the PS3, but they didn't jump when the PS4 and Xbox One came out. So it's amazing that it was only a $10 jump, because really it should be like $89.99 going by trend. So we kind of lucked out on a one on that.
All right. Well, look, staying in the video game vein, when I started off the Top Nerd News, one of the stories that I didn't get to was Resident Evil. They are rebooting the movie, which, on the surface you would be like, yeah.
Reboots?
You would normally be like that.
Reboots.
But just this once, I'm willing to maybe give them a mulligan on this, because God, did they just go off the reservation after the first one, really. The second was just weird, and then just got stranger from that. The last one turned into some weird anime and the Matrix mushed together. But they are rebooting it, and they brought out their cast. Now, they are going to have Kea Scodelario from Crawl. She'll be Claire Redfield. Now, the one that I'm really interested in is Robbie Amell, Stephen Amell's brother. And if you've seen the Netflix movie, The Babysitter, It is just phenomenal. Robbie Amell just cracks me up the whole time. The whole movie, he's shirtless, and they just keep messing with it. Like, why are you not wearing a shirt? And Robbie Amell just really comes across as kind of like, like a likable jock. You know what I'm saying? He's got that face like you think he wants to punch you, but he's really like, yo, let's drink a beer. So they've got the lady from Ant-Man and Wasp. I forgot what her character was, the one that kind of got caught and was like phasing and all that stuff. Hannah Joan.
Ghost? Did she play Ghost?
Yeah, she had a name? Okay, I don't remember. It was one of those throwaway Marvel villains. I think they sometimes name them occasionally. But the other one, Albert Wesker, will be played by Tom Hopper, which is the monkey guy from the Umbrella Academy, the guy with all the muscles.
Yeah, he's actually blowing up lately. This looks, it's got already a really good cast, but what's got me excited is what the director said about it, that he's going back to the original 2 video games.
Yes, and yes again. So it's going back to 1998, the Raccoon City incident, which, it's like the first one was just kind of, I liked sort of where they were with Mila Jovovich, but it just seemed that they were trying too hard, and then the whole hive thing underground, like it didn't have that scary zombie quality that terrified me when Resident Evil first came out. And I would like to see that because it was more like they were fighting an AI that happened to have some zombies in its arsenal. I want to see more of some of these characters that we really didn't get to see in any of them, really. They were throwaway characters at best when they showed up in, like, Resident Evil 2 when they were fighting in Las Vegas for some weird-ass reason. I don't know.
They just obviously didn't, pay attention to the video games other than the character names and it's a zombie outbreak. It was more name recognition. That was it. But if you have this director who's, honestly, he seems to be a fan of the franchise, and I think he can do it justice.
They always say that, though.
Yeah.
And then you get a turd of a movie. But I'm genuinely interested in this because also Resident Evil is going to sort of time this with another game, the Resident Evil Village. So, when did we talk about that? That came out for...
Actually, no, it's not out yet. It comes out
the trailer or whatever. Yeah, like it was E3 or whatever. I forgot which one of those things that they had.
It was either E3 or Gamescom that they did it. But yeah, Resident Evil 8, The Village, which goes along the same gameplay style as 7, which Resident Evil 7 is the scariest Resident Evil I've played in years. So yeah, I'm excited.
I enjoyed it when they re-released Resident Evil, the first one, and so that was fun. But also, you got Resident Evil, an animated series that's going to be popping up on Netflix, and this weird live-action series that follows the Wesker kids. I'm not sure what that's about. It's just like your dad is a supervillain who's trying to murder the entire globe. Your thoughts, So I mean,
Full House, Resident Evil style.
Ooh, now that's got. That's just, you got it, dude. Awesome. All right, so and finally, before we wrap up tonight's show, look, Ewan McGregor was on the Graham Norton show, and apparently he dropped this little nugget that it's the Obi-Wan Kenobi story, I suppose. Which is odd that he said that, I suppose. We start shooting it in March next year. So this Obi-Wan Kenobi series that I honestly thought was a joke, I thought it had been shelved and it was never going to see the light of day again. Apparently it is going to happen and they're going to start shooting in March. And now you've got Ewan McGregor, who's almost as getting up in age as, Sir Alec Guinness. He even said, he's like, well, now we're the same age. I feel like I can understand him more. It's like, okay, what? Space age Geritol and a space walker? Are you going to get like the lightsaber four-bladed walker style? I mean, I am so not interested in this turd burglar of a show that's probably going to be, I guess, him hovering around trying not to be seen by Luke. It's like, oh, it's just that crazy wizard out in the desert. I'm so not interested in this, bro. So not.
I don't know. I mean, if they tie in and if they do a live action scene of what they did in the Rebel show, I'll be all for that.
What, one scene? Okay, great. Well, they just make it a movie
it's worth it
short.
For the one scene.
Yeah, it then just turn it into a short. Stick it, cram it in a movie somewhere. I'm so not interested in this. But finally, before we wrap up tonight's show, Warner Brothers has shuffled the movie calendar again, dude. So apparently, the Batman got pushed back. No big deal on that one. But so now you were going to have Dune has jumped back to December 2020. So that's 2 months from now. But now you've got the Batman's been pushed back to October of next year. It was supposed to be in October next year. Now it's back to March 4th, 2022. The Matrix 4 has been kicked to April 2022. And Black Adam with Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson set for December 2021 is now no longer has a release year. It's just it got bumped off the calendar completely. And of that, I am very upset.
Well, Dune, you said actually Dune got pushed to October of 2021. It was from December.
Oh, that's right. You're right. Yeah, from December 22, October 1st, 2021. So, yeah, everything's been just kind of pushed back. And I don't know. I don't think we're ever getting movies back, man. And if we do, I don't know what the hell I don't know, ain't going to be much for us to see.
The Magic 8 Ball says outlook not so good.
That's what it says. All right. Skungy, get out of here. I'm not going to fire you because I only got like 10 seconds left. Later. All right, guys. As always, check out the Facebook page. I want to thank our guest tonight, Rich Little. Check out richlittle.com for his Virtually Speaking tour, October 15th. Of course, Henry Winkler, his Buddy Burger story on newsstands now. Lights, camera, danger. Till next time, keep your nerd flag raised high.
Catch News Talk 99.5 WRNO FM New Orleans anywhere on our free iHeart Radio app.